Welcome to My Asshole Podcast. Let's get into it. What day is today? But it is a Sunday. It is a Sunday episode. Yeah, it is Sunday. Oh man, it is a Sunday episode. It is the last episode of the week. This week has been a slugfest of just episodes for you guys, man. You guys got a Tuesday, a Thursday, a Friday, and you getting a Sunday episode. God damn, you've been keeping your boy busy. And then tomorrow, we're going to be streaming. Jesus, you're keeping me busy. And then you get another episode on Tuesday. And oh, golly, whoo. Oh, the train don't stop a rolling. It keeps it going and keeps it going. You know what I mean? But I do it for you lovely people. And honestly, I do it because I just love making content. I ain't gonna lie to you. Doing this podcast has been something that I've enjoyed for almost 2 years. Almost. It'll be 2 years this August. And if I'm being honest with you, man, I never thought I would still be doing the podcast, this far in, just because I figured I was going to run out of ideas. And honestly, it's like I haven't ran out of ideas because y'all motherfuckers keep sending in scenarios and confession times and all that kind of stuff to be featured on the show. So, I mean, I have so much content. I'm like, why not, man? And then I have fun with the content because it's nice to like learn stuff about you guys, and it's cool to like learn about situations that people are going through. And, everybody lives different lives and everybody lives crazy situations and scenarios. And it's wild. It's wild because you kind of realize like, damn, the world is a lot bigger than you, And this show has definitely shown me that. And it does teach me a lot. I learn a lot on this show. I won't lie to you. You guys teach me a lot. It just through like the scenarios or even, some of the threads, not all the threads. I mean, most of the threads are kind of just comedy and we make fun of them. But it's mainly through the scenarios that you guys really be showing me like, whoa, that's crazy. There's dudes out here that be marrying chicks, but they're secretly gay. That happens a lot. Crazy enough. I don't know why. And then sometimes it's like, whoa, dudes are out here like, having whole secret lives and shit. Like, we've just gone over so many things. And I mean, we're almost 400 episodes into this damn thing. If I'm being honest with you, we're close to like 350 easily. And just the sheer fact of that alone is wild. You know what I mean? And for me, I never wanted to be that kind of podcast that did one episode a week. I can't stand that. I don't like that. I think when the content is good and it's something I enjoy, I want more of it. And so that's why I look at it like I want to make this show something where you guys enjoy the fuck out of it and you're like, I want more, and it's like, cool. You only got to wait 2 days. You know what I mean? You only got to wait a day. So like from the Tuesday to the Thursday episode, you only got to wait a day. From Thursday to the Sunday episode, you only got to wait a couple days. You know what I mean? It's not too bad. And so, and then obviously there's some people who just like the Thursday episodes or they just like the Tuesday episodes. And then there's some people who like them all, you know what I mean? So I try to have something for everybody. And then it's cool. The live streams have been like actually a really good thing. You guys have actually really been enjoying the live streams. It's cool because a lot of people are like, oh my God, I want to come in and check it out next time. Oh, I hope to be there next time, blah, blah, blah. And so it's nice. I mean, you guys just get to ask me questions and we can just talk and chill. It's awesome. I like it, man. And like I said, if you want to get a part of live streams, definitely get down there. We do it on YouTube. So if you're already subscribed on YouTube, you're chilling. But if you enjoy watching live streams on Kick or Twitch, and that's just kind of what you like, then we're also there. So you guys can go check us out over there as well. And handles are on the screen. So right here. So, but without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get into today's thread. I've yapped enough. Let's get into today's thread. And today's thread is a pretty interesting one. It's a little something different, but it's, what did the weird kid at your school do to get that reputation? So what did the weird kid do to get that reputation? Let's see. Made plastic weapons with various school supplies so he could shoot stuff at people. The weird part is he shot them at other outcast kids. While he's probably a successful engineer at this point, I did get the pleasure to see him to see one of the math nerds slap the shit out of him in retaliation once. That's crazy. That's wild. And you know what I mean? If I'm being honest with you, I used to be one of those kind of kids too. I used to have like an overactive imagination. Like my imagination was just through the fucking roof. It was far too big for just like me alone. You know what I mean? And I would always create crazy scenarios in my head, and I'd act them out and pretend stuff, and I had a very overactive imagination. I won't lie to you. And a lot of kids that do have overactive imaginations, they do tend to do some really cool shit when they get older. And for me, I think that like my overactive imagination is what led me into a lot of creative paths. You know, like before this podcast, I did music, and that was something that I really enjoyed doing, and I really loved doing it. And it was a thing where I would kind of imagine myself doing it, and then I actually made it able to do it. You know what I mean? And podcasting was never a thing where like I imagined myself doing it, but it was always a thing where I got interested in it. And the more podcasters I listened to, and the more people that, you know, I was hearing do it, I was like, man, I could do that. I could totally do that. Like, what the heck? And so then I took some time, and I was like, I'm going to, you know, write out some ideas and what I want to make my podcast about, and how do I want to do it, and this and that. And then I just, you know, set up a camera, got a shitty little mic arm, you know what I mean? I've always had SM7Bs. I've always had good microphones because I did music back when I would like record music and stuff. So I already had good microphones. So I was like, all I got to do is just, you know what I mean, start, if I'm being straight with you. I ain't gonna lie to you though. If you watch my very first episode compared to like any episode that we've done, you know, in 2025 so far, it is a massive difference. What I'm gonna do is, and this obviously won't be until far in the future, but well, not too far in the future, but I mean like at least maybe like 6 months or so. But in April, when we celebrate the podcast's like 2 years, we're gonna watch together. We're gonna watch my very first episode. That's gonna be something I'm going to do because I am like, bruh, it is going to be a crazy stark contrast to like the way I am now in front of camera, the way I used to be. Because honestly, I won't lie to you. The first time I got in front of a camera and I was talking to the camera, I was just like, how do I do this? You know, and it was always weird, but I don't know. I've always been that type of person, again, that's had an overactive imagination to where it's like, I can, you know, I can imagine myself, you know what I mean, talking to you guys, and, you know, and that's how I think about it now, is that I'm like, it's not me talking to a camera, it's me talking to you guys, you know what I mean? But I guess when I first started, it was just a thing where I'm like, oh, how the fuck do I talk to this plastic thing, you know, and make it feel engaging. And so, yeah. Oh, but we're going to get back to the thread. I got way off topic. I am so sorry. All right. What did the weird kid do at your school, and what did he do to earn that reputation? Kicked his wooden clogs at kids that bullied him for wearing clogs. He had pretty good aim. What the fuck? I mean, hey, at least he didn't let kids bully him. I'll give him that. You know what I mean? Hey, he was a weird kid, but he didn't let nobody, you know, punk him. I'll give him that, because shit, I ain't gonna lie to you. I felt like I was the weird kid in school. A lot of my friends and a lot of people that I went to high school were like, no, you weren't weird at all. And I was like, really? I kind of felt like I was weird. I was the type of kid. I was in an anime club, and, you know, I had very overactive imagination. So I was always like drawing shit, and I was just always in my head about it, like everything. And so for me, like, but I always align myself with like the bigger kids, you know what I mean? The big motherfuckers. And so it was funny because like a lot of kids didn't really fuck with me because I was cool with like the big motherfuckers of the school, you know what I mean? So it was a thing where it was like, they're like, yeah, you can't really fuck with him because he know too many people. And you're like, what? And there was a few times where there were people that like tried to fuck with me, and they would like get in my face or whatever, and I'm like, whoa, hold up, chill, like, damn. And then later on I would hear like somebody I knew like pressed him, you know what I mean? Big dude, like, hey man, why the fuck you fucking with my boy, And I'm just like, whoa, bro, hold up. I didn't ask him to do that. He just did it. But then I just kind of had this like reputation, I guess, where they were like, yeah, don't fuck with that guy because he knows people. And I didn't know I had this reputation. Me, I was just like, I'm just going through school, chilling. I'm cool with everybody, you know what I mean? I was cool with the nerd kids. I was cool with the goth kids. I was cool with the emo kids. I was cool with the Mexican dudes. I was cool with the black dudes. I was cool with everybody. But it was just a thing where if somebody tried to fuck with me, then like some dude be like, hey, what the fuck? Why you pressing my boy? And I'm just like, I didn't put him up to that. Because I remember there was one time there was a dude that came up to me and I thought he was going to press me again, but then he said sorry. And I was like, nah, we good, bro. Like, it's chilling. Like, I didn't know why you came off so aggressive, whatever, blah, blah. But then I didn't understand why he said that, why he said sorry. But then later on, I had said what's up to one of my friends that was like on the football team. And he was like, oh, yeah. He was like, we took care of that dude. And I was like, wait, did y'all beat his ass? And they're like, no. We just talked to him. I was like, oh, okay. All right then, man. I appreciate it, I guess. Yeah, man. Hey, school was kind of a weird time. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. But hey, at least that weird kid, he didn't let them bullies get to him. All right, what did the weird kid do? What did the weird kid at your school do to get that reputation? He used to sit in puddles and get sent home. Then the school realized and stopped sending him home. He carried on regardless. So did he just love the feeling of his pants being wet? Was maybe that's the thing, I mean, that is weird. That is very weird. I won't lie to you, that's very weird. But I think that's what it was. I think he just enjoyed the feeling of his pants wet, I guess. All right. Hey, do your thing, brother. Do your thing. All right, what did the weird kid at your school do to get that reputation? He would unwrap condoms, fill them with yogurt, and leave them around the school. That's crazy. That's crazy, because I guarantee you there were so many times where people would find them condoms and be like, yo, hey, somebody was fucking. They were like, yo. Like, yo, whoever used this condom, bro. And my man was busting nuts. Like, goddamn, he filled this condom up. That's crazy. What did the weird kid at your school do? That condom kid's crazy. Oh man, I don't know why it just came back into my head. That condom kid's crazy. Like, what would make you do that? Like as a high school kid, yo, condoms are expensive. I ain't gonna cap to you. Condoms were expensive in high school, and it wasn't a thing where like they were overpriced or nothing. It's just the fact that when you're in high school, yeah, $15-$20, that was a lot of money. You were like, damn, because you ain't got no job, nigga. The fuck we talking about, And then you can ask your parents for the money and kind of lie for what it's about, because that's what I did. I ain't gonna lie. I was like, yeah, mom, can I get like $20, for this, for that, and da-da-da. She'd be like, oh, okay, sure, and I'd go buy some condoms, so I can fuck bitches. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm just saying. But it's the fact that, for a high school kid, they so expensive. So I'm like, nigga, where you getting all the money from? Unless he's like using lunch money to buy condoms and then just filling that shit with yogurt. But hey, all right, man, we gonna move on. What did the weird kid at your school do to get that reputation? The weird kid at my high school got into an argument with a pretty popular kid. population guy wanted to, popular guy, wanted to fight. Weird kid told him that if he wins, then he gets to keep popular guy's thumbs. They didn't fight. Yo, that's crazy. I mean, hey, that's one way to get out of a fight, bro, is just be absolutely crazy. You know what I mean? Be absolutely crazy, because if you're crazy as fuck, ain't nobody gonna try to mess with you, bro. Sure, they gonna call you weird and they gonna call you this and that, but they ain't gonna fuck with you. You know what I mean? They ain't not gonna fuck with you. I remember there was a kid in our school, and he was a freshman when I was like a senior. And I had no classes with this kid at all or anything like that. But I was dating a girl that was in third year at the time. And, you know, third year is obviously a mix of just a bunch of different kids. There's senior kids, there's freshman kids, there's all that. But he was a part of, you know, the like stage crew. He was part of the little stage help or whatever. And she was telling me, she was like, yeah, he almost got into a fight with like one of the senior kids. And the senior kid, I like took him outside. And what happened was he like took a switchblade out and he started like cutting his face. And he was just like, oh, I'm giving you a head start or some shit. And homeboy did not want to fuck with him after that. And I'm like, I wouldn't either. What the fuck are we talking about? And he was one of those like, I guess you'd say like, all right, fuck it. We'll just say the nigga was a fat white kid. I guess husky. There you go. That was the word I was trying to use. But yeah, he was a fat white kid, and he had like the long blonde hair kind of thing, you know, where like covered his eyes and shit, and you know, he always wore black and stuff like that. He was kind of one of those kids where he was just like the misunderstood, like, you know, bad boy brooding dude, but he was weird, you know what I mean? And so that was that kid. And I remember she was telling me about that, and she told me that story, and I'm like, yo, that nigga's crazy. There ain't no way I'm fucking with a dude that's cutting his own face. Like you gonna pull out a switchblade just to cut your own face and then put that shit back, talking about, all right, I give you a head start. That's crazy, bro. Absolutely insane. All right, on to our next one. What did the weird kid at your school do to get that reputation? Had a German foreign exchange student that dressed like Willy Wonka and carried around pies. For a while, I thought the only English he knew was, do you like pie? He was weird as shit, but always smiling, and the pies were good. I mean, you know, young businessman? Oh, you know, hey, he's probably ahead of his time. He's a young little entrepreneur. You never know. You never know, because I ain't gonna lie to you, the kids that were like selling candy bars and doing all that type of shit, hey, those were the kids that honestly went on to be, you know, successfully business owners and all that kind of stuff, because they just, you know, they got that just innate itch, or they're doing really good in sales or something, you know. So, hey, I wouldn't think that kid's weird. I would just be like, hey, yo, my man is a businessman. Yeah, he sells pies. He's cornering a market nobody's selling. While all the kids are selling candy, he's selling pies. Man, shit, why not? Why not? I guarantee you at that time, he was probably buying those pies for like 99 cents, you know, or even 50 cents. Because I remember the little pies at the grocery store, those used to be 50 cents a piece. Now those things are $2. Those are $2 a piece. They used to be 50 cents. And I know. Because I worked at the grocery store when they were there. When I was like 19, 20, I used to get those little pies all the time. They were 50 cents. You know what I mean? When I was stupid with like my first few paychecks, I won't lie to you, I blew a lot of my paychecks. I was young. I was 19, 20. I had money for the first time, and I was like, oh my God, I could buy whatever I want. So I would always blow my money. And so, you know, when it came down to lunchtime, I'm like, holy shit, what the fuck am I going to eat? You know what I mean? Nigga ain't got no money. But then what I would do is I would get these little pies, and they're like 50 cents. You know what I mean? But now those pies are fucking $2. That shit is wild. Whoo, inflation's crazy. Man, I mean, don't get me wrong, that was like, you know, over a span of maybe like 10 years, but I digress. It's like, still, it's like, bro, come on, man. That's a big jump. All right, on to our next one. What did the weird kid at your school do to get the reputation? He had a walking stick that he didn't need and claimed it had a sword in it. We all believed him for about a week until he started claiming only the worthy could pull it after we tried to get him to show us. That's crazy. And my man was just like, hey, I got some lore. He said, I got some lore for you. Hey. Again, like I said, I was one of those kids that had that overactive imagination, and he was one of those kids too. I won't lie to you. He was one of those kids too. You know, he just had an overactive imagination. What did the weird kid at your school do to get that reputation? Always wore a different shoe on each foot, smelled terrible, and never brought a lunch. This was a Catholic school that cost a decent amount of money. Turns out he was just really, really poor. Everybody looked out for him afterwards. Another girl was 12 and pregnant. Damn. 12 and pregnant, and her mom was 24. Her baby daddy then killed a 7-Eleven clerk with a shotgun and made national news because he said he wanted to know how it felt to kill someone. That's crazy. That's crazy. What? Damn. I love how he went from like kind of tame to where, you know, it was just a poor kid down on his luck. How in the hell his parents were paying for that Catholic school, I don't know. They were probably using every single cent that they could probably to give, you know, that kid a good, you know, school. That's admirable, I guess. And then it's nice that the kids kind of helped him out and stuff like that. So he wasn't really that weird, if I'm being honest with you. He was just a kid in a tough spot. But the girl, that's crazy. She was 12-year-old and pregnant. That's wild. Like, y'all fucking at 12, bruh? And then the baby daddy over here talking about, oh, man, I got a kid on the way. I need to go rob a 7-Eleven. And then because he couldn't get the money, like, where'd you get the shotgun in the first place? Like, let's start there. Where did you get that from? Because, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Like, what are we talking about here? That's some wild shit to me. Like, where'd you get a shotgun from, my guy? First off. And then second off, why a 7-Eleven, man? You know what I mean? You could have asked for a job application. That probably would have been a little better, but hey, I guess so, man. All right, what did the weird kid at your school do to get that reputation? He wore a suit at school. Skaters made fun of him. He blew up one of the kids' lockers. Yo, my man was a joker. He said, hey, you trying to fuck with me? I'm going to blow your locker up. That's crazy. My man was walking and was just like, boom, and fucking blew their locker up, son. That's crazy. Absolutely insane. Damn. All right. Okay, I'm going to do two more and we'll end the thread. What did the weird kid at your school do to get that reputation? He used to eat milk-bone dog treats, had a tail, a clip-on one, obsessed with tactical gear, backpacks, and flashlights. He's now a janitor. Okay. Now, the milk-bone dog treats and the clip-on tail. What? That's kind of crazy. I won't lie to you. That is kind of crazy. Wow. All right. But the whole tactical gear and backpacks and flashlight things, that was a lot of kids. I won't lie to you. I did ROTC for 2 years. Or maybe just a year. A year or two. I did ROTC. A lot of those kids, I won't lie to you, bro. A lot of those kids were into that shit. They always, you know, wore like military uniforms. They'd get off eBay and shit. You know what I mean? And they were into like, they wouldn't just bring like normal backpacks. Like their backpacks were like actual rucksacks and shit. And you know, they were just into that. And so with that one, I'm kind of like, all right, I kind of understand, because I knew a lot of kids that were obsessed with that. And it was funny because there was a lot of girls too. There was a lot of girls in ROTC that were like into that shit. And I'm like, yo, for real? I ain't gonna lie to you. I thought it was kind of hot. You know, I ain't gonna cap to you, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. Yeah, I thought it was hot, you know, because I remember in RTC, I had a crush on this one girl. Woo! Oh, her name was Olivia. She was the just most amazing thing in the whole entire world. I remember I always wanted to be like in her little column, because like in our seating chart, you know, we're sitting in rows and shit, but like everybody who sat at the front, they were like kind of the leaders, and then everybody who was behind them, you know, like whoever was directly behind the leader, they were kind of like the second in command kind of thing, and then you had like your soldiers and stuff that would follow behind. And I was always trying to be like right behind her. I had the biggest crush on her for years. Oh man, I stayed in ROTC just for her. I ain't gonna lie to you. I stayed just for her. And then it was funny because I would always, you know, like ask her, hey yo, you know, like after school, you know, can we hang out and like you help me out with my uniform and stuff. Dude, I was pulling all the tricks. I won't lie to you, man. I remember there was one time we were doing like physical training, and we were like wrestling, and I was just like, oh, I want to wrestle you. That was the best day of my high school life. And she agreed too. She was like, okay, you know, because she was one of those kind of like tough girls, and she wanted to like prove, oh yeah, you know, guys can do just the same thing as, you know, girls can do and whatnot. And we had wrestled. I lost on purpose just because, for one, I was too busy enjoying it. 2, she smelled intoxicatingly good. And then 3, she was just soft. I ain't gonna lie. I was like, man, and they were just like, oh man, how did you lose to a girl? And I was like, look, bro, you had to be there. you had to be there. Yeah, I mean, you had to be in it, man. It's I was in love, man. Oh, I ain't gonna lie to you. I was in love with that girl. Woo! Oh, shout out to her. I wonder what she's doing nowadays. All right, we're going to get into our last one for this thread. What did the weird kid at your school do to get that reputation? He baked a cake for the class. It was nobody's birthday or anything. The weird kid just baked a cake and brought it in. The teachers confiscated the cake and brought it to the teacher's lounge instead of throwing it away. Another teacher had a slice, and it had the kid's pubic hair baked into the cake. Never saw that kid again. Yo! What the fuck? He so made that cake for a specific somebody. I think he looked at it like, oh yeah, this little fucker that keeps messing around with me, this nigga's gonna eat my pubes. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have to just blanket it to everybody. Yeah, oh damn. Imagine being that teacher though and being like, man, this kid makes a good, whoa, there's hair in this. That's crazy. That is crazy. Imagine being a parent, you get called in talking about your kid made a cake with pubic hair in it. That'd be wild to get that as an adult, man. You'd be getting that call like, wait, are you fucking with me? Seriously? Because I ain't got time for this shit. Hey, that would be wild. Oh, shit. Oh, man, but I hope you guys enjoyed that thread. Again, another day of just wild threads. You guys are something else, man. You know, I love these threads that are just kind of different and outrageous, because if I'm being honest with you, man, these are the ones that kind of hit it for you, boy, because they're just, they either bring up like good memories, distant memories, bad memories. They either that or, you know, they just be teaching you stuff about just kids and what they be doing, and you know what I mean, how it was, you know, when we were kids and stuff, and just the shit that they would do. Because I mean, obviously nowadays it's like cyberbullying and I made a TikTok about you and shit like that. You know what I mean? Nowadays kids, they don't know the struggle, you know. And honestly, I feel bad because it's weird. It's like the most popular kids are the kids that have like the most followers and stuff on Instagram and TikTok and all that. You know what I mean? Like those are the popular kids. It's weird. It is very weird to me. Like, those are the considered popular kids. Like, back in my day, you know what I mean? You had to, goddamn, I'm old, but hey, you know, back in my day, you had to be like on a sports team, or, you know, you knew a lot of people, or, you know, you was dating the prettiest girl or some shit. You know what I mean? You kind of had to do something. We had some hierarchy, but now it's just like, how many followers do you have? Oh shit. You know, Jason's got 10,000. Oh, well, Kevin's got 20,000. Oh, he's the most popular kid in the school. You know what I mean? Then the most popular girl, you know, she's got 100,000 or some shit. You know what I mean? Come on now. No, let's be real. Them perv dudes out there gonna be following this girl. Let's be real. That's kind of weird. A lot of times when I be seeing girls on Instagram, and I'm just like, oh, dang, that girl's really pretty. And then I find out she's like 15. I'm like, block. No. Why are you on Instagram? The fuck are we talking about here? That shit's crazy to me, but hey. That's the world we live in, man. And it's wild. Wow. I hope you guys enjoyed that thread, man. We're going to get through announcements, and then we're going to get right into confession time, and then we'll get into our scenarios. So, patreon.com/Am I the Asshole Podcast. Get an exclusive episode every single Friday, as well as being able to send in your scenario to be featured on the Tuesday and Sunday show like these people did today. Can't wait to get in there, man. There's going to be some juicy scenarios, and a pretty interesting confession time. I have actually been really loving the confession time segment ever since I started doing it at the start of this year. Oh man, because y'all be confessing some wild shit. I ain't gonna lie, y'all be confessing some wild shit. But yes, definitely get in there and send in your confession time. Audio listeners, keep downloading the podcast as well as rating us 5 stars on your preferred listening platform. It does help out a lot. And guess what, baby? It's for free. It's for free. And if it's for free, then it's for me. And if you want to help out even more on the free 99 side of things, go ahead and follow us on Instagram, TikTok, as well as YouTube, okay? Appreciate all the support you guys have been showing, man. You guys have been showing mad support over on TikTok. We finally hit 13K. Let's go, baby. I was so happy to see that. I was like, yes, we just been inching ever so closely to that 13K. We finally reached it. I appreciate our next goal is 20K. We're gonna get there. I know we are. You guys are gonna get us there. We got so much juicy content coming out, and yeah, man, loving it. Just loving it. All right. Then on Monday, tomorrow, after this episode comes out, tomorrow we will be streaming 5 p.m. All right, we're going to be live streaming 5 p.m. We're going to be playing a game, and, you know, you just get in there, talk to your boy. We can talk about whatever. You can ask me whatever you want. We can, you know, connect, have a good time, and it is what it is. You know what I mean? And so, you know, and even if you're there just for an hour, you're there for 30 minutes, whatever the case may be, just be there, come out, hang out, say what's up, and then kick it for a little bit, dip, do what you got to do. But yeah, definitely come out, check us out. If you are on YouTube, you're all good. We stream on YouTube, Kick, as well as Twitch. So if you want to find us on Kick and Twitch, I got our handles right here. And if you want to, you know, watch us on YouTube, honestly, YouTube is probably the best way to watch us because it's like the highest quality on YouTube. But, you know, it's all good. Wherever you want to watch, I got you. So we chilling. All right, so let's get into today's confession time. And give me a second. Let me find. All right. Today's confession time is I've been sleeping with my boss's wife and he has no idea. That's crazy. Whoo, imagine his boss gets mad at him, right? And it's just like, oh, you can't ever do anything right. Da, 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 da. And he walks away and he's like, yeah, that's why I'm fucking your wife. Yo, bitch. Yeah, I mean, imagine. That's crazy. Woo, okay. My boss is a total nightmare. Arrogant, condescending, treats everyone like garbage. He's the kind of guy who brags about grinding 24/7 while delegating all his work and taking credit for our ideas. We've put up with this crap for years, but never in a million years did I think I'd end up in this situation. It started at a company party. His wife, let's call her Emily, was there, looking bored out of her mind while he was busy networking. We started talking, and to my surprise, she was funny, smart, and nothing like him. We exchanged numbers under the guise of keeping in touch. Oh, okay, all right. I see you. But let's be real. We both knew what was happening. Facts. Facts. That's why I played that sound effect. Come on now. A few weeks later, she invited me out for drinks. One thing led to another, and well, let's just say I've been working overtime ever since. It's been 6 months now. He still treats me like crap at work, completely oblivious to the fact that when he stays late at the office, I'm in his house in his bed. The crazy part, I don't even feel guilty. He doesn't appreciate what he has, and I guess I do. I know this is going to blow up eventually, but for now, I'm just enjoying the ride. Hey, facts. Facts. I'd be enjoying the ride, man. Why not? And honestly, it would be a thing where that dude, he would never, and I mean ever, be able to get me, like, get my mood down. He would never. And the reason being is because I would just be like, all right, nah, it's cool. It's cool. And all my frustration and anger, I would just be taking it out on his wife's coochie. Oh, man. I would be just taking it out on her coochie, man. And she would love it, too. She would love it. She'd be like, oh, my husband could never. Oh, man, I'm telling you. Oh, that's what I would do. That's how I would just bottle it all up, and I'd be like, yeah. Oh, yeah, she getting a dickin' tonight. Woo, she getting it crazy tonight. Yeah, motherfucker. Now I got something for you. Oh, 100%. 100%. Then it'd be even crazier if he was hitting it raw and busting nuts in her. Woo, that would be wild. That would be wild. Like, yeah, dog. Your wife walks around your house with my nut falling out her coochie. Like, yo. Yay, man. Hey, W mans. I ain't gonna lie to you. Hey, W mans. Again, he already knows it's gonna blow up on him, and I feel it too. But I'd be there for the ride. I'd be there for the ride. What are we talking about? You know what I mean? Call me an asshole all you want, but I'd be there for the ride. Oh, shit. All right. Let me know what you think about that one in the comments, though. We're going to get on to our scenarios for today. All right. So we got our first one. Am I the asshole for exposing my wife's affair at our anniversary dinner? Woo! I mean, you could have did that a little, like, you know, in private, but I mean, if you felt like you had to blow her spot up, I mean, we'll see what's up. Okay, me 35 male and wife 34 female, and I just had our 10-year anniversary. I planned a fancy dinner with our close friends and family. Everything was great until I noticed my wife acting weird with her phone. I glanced over and saw "Good Night, Babe" from a name I didn't recognize. Oh, no. I excused myself, went to the restroom, and did something I probably shouldn't have. I checked her phone. She placed it on her coat hanging from the chair. Turns out she has been having an affair with Mark, a coworker. Explicit text, plans to meet up, even complains about me. I was furious. Instead of confronting her privately, I stood up, tapped my glass, and said, I want to thank everyone for coming to celebrate our love, and a special thanks to Mark for keeping my wife entertained while I'm not around. Yo! No! Hey, he did it elegantly, though. I ain't gonna lie. He did it with some class. He said, cling, cling, cling. Everyone, thank you very much for all being here. And a special thank you to our boy Mark. He's been doing God's work. While I'm out working and, you know, being stressed out, he's taking care of my wife. You know what I mean? I hope it was worth it. Like, damn, son. Damn. Oh, that's crazy. Then I walked out. Oh, damn, he mic dropped. He straight mic dropped and left. All right, she's been crying and saying I humiliated her. Our friends are split. Some say she deserved it, while others think I went too far. So am I the asshole? Come on, man. Of course, you're not the asshole. Edit, we're not divorcing. What? What? Why? Why are you not divorcing this woman? The fuck are we talking about? Well, it might be a thing where she gonna try to fucking booty rape him in court. That's probably what it is. Yeah, it's probably one of those it's cheaper to keep her situations. That's probably what it is. But personally, I would have been on the side of the friends of like, nah, bitch deserves it. Like, the fuck are we talking about? You're like, come on, man. Like, if this is the type of shit that you dealing with, then you should have been gone. You know, like, I don't know what we doing here. But again, like we said before, you know, women break up with men in their minds and we only figure out, you know, later on. And so she been done with this dude. If I'm being straight with you, that's the only reason why she doing this shit with Mark. Because I guarantee you, Mark has been up in them walls at least a few times. Like, let's be straight, he been up in them walls. Like let's look, yeah. So I probably. Actually, no. I probably would have blown up her spot like that too. Because I think the way he did it, elegant as fuck. He said, cling, 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 cling. And she's over here just like, oh my goodness. He's going to give such a great speech about our relationship and our 10-year anniversary. Homeboy dropped a bomb. And then Mike dropped out that bitch like a real G. You know what I mean? Hey, I don't think you're the asshole at all, dog. And, you know, and I understand you're probably not divorcing her because she's probably going to try to, you know, yeah, she's going to probably get you in court. That's probably what it is. Yeah, she's going to booty grape you in court, trying to take your shit. Yeah, so let me know what you think about that one in the comments. But, hey, I don't think he's the asshole. Let me know what you think, though. Am I wrong? Told friends a story about my husband. Okay, so let's see what this story is. My husband, 33 male, and I, 31 female, have been married for 4 years. Back when we were first dating, I told my 3 closest girlfriends on a girls' night out about a hookup story he and I had. And I've felt like it's TMI ever since. Basically, the story was this. I said I had been on 2 or 3 dates with a new guy, and on our last date, the night before the girls' night, we were making out on my couch. Things got a little hot and heavy, and he got my pants off. He then gave me an orgasm with his finger, which I was very impressed with. For him and for me, I returned the favor, and he was just so confident and masculine when he came from my hand, I was smitten. Anyway, it was a funny hookup story, but fast forward to today, we got married and are living happily ever after. And once in a while, my friends will mention this story and the nickname they gave him, Handy. Husband has no idea. I do owe it to him to tell him that I shared this story with 3 friends. I mean, it's not like, okay, well, you did just put it on the internet. Let's be straight. I mean, you know, like you did just, because I was about to say, it's not like it's on the internet, but you just did put it on the internet. So, okay. All right. Understandable. But if I'm being honest with you, I don't think you're wrong at all because only your 3 friends know. I mean, yes, now, you know, the whole world knows, but honestly, it's not like she's talking about another guy. She's talking about you. You know what I mean? Like, that's how you guys met. And you have to understand that with women, they value like how they met the guy a lot of times more than a lot of other aspects in the relationship, just because they want the whole meet cute story. They want the whole like, oh my God, we met and like we reached for the same thing at the same time. You know, we were going for the same carton of eggs or some shit and our hands touched or whatever. You know what I mean? Like girls want that little magical moment and all that kind of stuff. They want to be able to gush like that to their friends. So with a story like this that to her, it feels special and magical and stuff like that. And, you know, it's one of those moments where it was just like, oh, this wasn't supposed to be anything, but then it turned into something. I mean, hey, it is what it is. Like, I don't see anything wrong with this, if I'm being honest with you. I don't think that he should have a problem with it either. Because, again, it's not like you're talking about another dude. You're talking about him. You know, and sure, the little nickname, all Handy or whatever, it's funny. It's silly. You know what I mean? It's a little inside joke, whatever the case may be. I don't think you're wrong at all. I hope he's not going to blow it out of proportion when you do tell him that, you know, you've told other friends. I hope he's just like, babe, damn. You know what I mean? It just, just be chill with it. Just be chill with it. It ain't that serious. It really isn't. It really isn't that serious. You guys let me know what you think about that one in the comments. All right. Okay. On to our next one. Am I the asshole if I expose my best friend for seducing my husband? Oh. Ho ho. Okay. We had a scenario just like this on the Friday Free April Patreon episode. And it was a girl. She was at a party with her dude. And her friend led her boyfriend upstairs to her parents' room. And they was making out. This bitch ain't your friend. Let's be straight. All right. Hi, all. I could really use some input. My best friend seduced my husband roughly 1 week after I confided in her that we were having issues, but planning on going to therapy. At the same time, he ghosted me in months leading up to this. My dad died, my dog died, my husband and I began living in separate housing while seeking therapy, and I totaled my car. Woo! God damn! Shit! You was going through it. Okay, wow. Oh, man. I reached out to her after several weeks of being ignored as I offered to be her ride to and from a medical appointment to bring her things and to check in on her well-being, and said that it felt like my friendship was no longer convenient to her when I was going through one of the darkest periods of my life. She responded back with a 6-page PDF, yes, PDF in response to a text, which rambled about how good of a person she was and how rough her life was, only to end the very last paragraph saying she wasn't mad at me for anything, but the best thing she could do was let me figure things out on my own. Okay. Come to find out that she has had already hooked up with my husband 3 times. 3 times he was up in that coochie. That's crazy. He has his fair share of blame in this situation. Oh, 100%. But that's not what I need advice on at the moment. She trash talked me to him, threw herself at him, and told him all they would need to do was an appropriate amount of time, maybe 6 months, before becoming publicly official as a dating couple. For reference, we are friends for 5 years. I have known my husband for 4 years. She was going to be the maid of honor in our upcoming wedding. We've been married for 3 years, but never had an actual wedding for others to attend. Oh, so they probably did like a courthouse thing, and then they were going to do a real wedding at the later on. She called me her best friend. She stated hundreds of times that the reason that she and my husband got along so well is because they bonded over their share love of me.
Stop the cap.
That's trash, bro. She ain't your friend, man. She wanted your man from the get-go. She was waiting for her opportunity. She waited until your life was just in absolute shambles. And then she went in and scooped this dude up and was just like, hey, if you ever need a vagina to cry on, I'm chilling here, ready, waiting for you. And he's like, why not? And I guarantee you it was a situation for the dude. He was like, I don't want my wife to know, you know what I mean? I don't want her to know. Like, let's just keep this on the down low. When the friend, she was plotting and planning like, oh, if this kind of continues for 6 months, like, I'm going to tell her and we're going to go public. You know, I don't think they were really on the same page with this, but, you know, that's kind of how that went. The whole fact that she decided, oh, I'm going to tell her, wild, but at the same time, it's good that she told you because, you know, I think that she thought she was being a good friend. In reality, it's like, sure, you can think that, but I mean, the overall underlining thing is you're fucking my husband, bro. Like, what are we talking about here? I don't give a shit what you think you're trying to do. I don't give a shit what you feel like you're trying to do. You're telling me the truth and all that. Nah, bro, you're literally smashing the husband. Like, what are we doing here? And like I said, I guarantee it was a thing where she wanted him the whole time. You know what I mean? Yeah, she wanted him the whole time. She was never really a friend. She was there because, she was waiting for this opportunity. She was just like, damn, I hate that it took 3 years, but hey, it is what it is. And I guarantee you she was going to try to make her move before the wedding. Oh, 100%. If this situation wouldn't have happened, I guarantee you, right before like the wedding, she would have tried to smash him. Like, hey, look, bachelorette or bachelor party or whatever, she shows up, does a little striptease thing, and you know what I mean? Like, come on, bro. This was inevitable, if I'm being straight with you. Regardless of your like life falling apart, this was gonna happen. And it obviously it's kind of up to the dude, but regardless, she was gonna be doing that. So again, that girl ain't your friend. She was never your friend. Yeah, and to your question of am I the asshole if I expose my best friend for seducing my husband? I don't think you're an asshole at all because she a snake, bro. She a snake. So yeah, I feel like if you want to expose her, do it. You know what I mean? Be like, hey, because at the end of the day, it's like this is your man, your situation. It would be different if it was like they were dating and you knew something, about one of the other's fidelities from the other person. Then I'd kind of be like, all right, girl, get the fuck, mind your own business. Zip it, lock it, put it in your pocket, because that's not your situation. And you don't need to be getting in the middle of all that. You really don't. Let them deal with what they're going to deal with. But since that is your husband, this is your situation. Oh, hell yeah. Yeah, blow that bitch's spot up. Yeah, I mean, blow her spot up. All right, we're gonna get into our last scenario for today. All right, our last one is: am I wrong? My boyfriend's ex's boss saw me. Okay, so her boyfriend's ex-girlfriend's boss saw her. Okay. So, me, 29 female, boyfriend 31 male, Steven, is house sitting for his former boss, David, late 40s, in the southern U.S. for 3 months. We are still good friends. The house is an amazing mansion, 8 bedrooms, private pool, gym, anything you'd want. I've basically moved in for the last I've basically moved in the last month too. This was fine with David. Okay. So, yeah. Okay, all right. On Monday, Steven was taking calls for work outside on the back patio while I was swimming laps. When I was done, I used the outdoor shower next to the patio undressed and went inside and made coffee and brought some out to Steven while still undressed. That's sexy. Ain't gonna lie to you. I love for my girl to bring me, a drink and she just booty cheek naked while I'm working. Psh, ha! I would be like, you know what? It's time for a break. I ain't gonna lie to you. She would get done right then and there. Not a big deal. I hung outside for like 5 minutes, then went inside, got dressed, and left for some errands. Steven was on the phone the whole time. When I left through our side door, I noticed some boxes and a suitcase on the driveway. I texted Steven, stuff on the driveway? On the way out, not thinking much of it, he responded, okay. Steven called me half an hour later saying he had learned David had flown few in town late the night before, unexpected, and was home all morning. David told Steven he was going to come say hello until he realized we were back there. Decided not to because he didn't want to embarrass me. Steven said, oh yeah, sorry about that. And David said, no worries. I guess it was an honest mistake on everyone's part. I'm not sure if I should apologize to David or if he should feel sheepish or I should. Just to be clear, I was naked, but there wasn't anything sexual going on. Steven did put his arm around my waist while I was standing next to him while he was on the phone, but that's the only contact. So, wait, what? My boyfriend's ex-boss saw me. Oh, I see what's going on. Okay, so in the time that she was walking around in the nude, David happened to see like Steven's girl naked. Okay, I see what's up. Okay, all right. Facts. I mean, look, it's a thing where... like, okay, I'm going to put myself in the position, I'm going to answer this in the position of the boyfriend. So, like, if I'm, like, house sitting my boss's mansion, pretty much, and I bring my girl with me, and she decides, to walk around naked a little bit or whatever, for me, I would, and my boss happened to see it, like, through security cameras or some shit, I can't be mad if I'm being straight with you. I can't be mad because it's a simple thing of like, no shit, in a mansion of that size, 7 bedrooms and private gym and all that kind of shit, niggas gonna have cameras. You know what I mean? Of course he's gonna have cameras. And then it would be a thing where obviously when that happens, David called Steven and was like, yo, hey, your girl walking around naked in my spot, like, chill that out. Cause I can see it. And good on David, you know what I mean? He was just like, hey, yo, I'm just letting you know, like, I can see you guys at my house. So I can see your girl walking around booty cheek naked. So, yeah, let me just know that, just let her know, like, hey, put some clothes on because I can see y'all niggas. And I think, hey, good on him. I can't be mad as the boyfriend because it is what it is. I mean, and I would just tell my girl, hey, look, David can low-key see into the house. So when you walking around booty cheek naked, he can see you. So just be mindful, put some clothes on next time, and we're chilling. I think we're all good. I don't really think that you're in the wrong because I think she feels like, oh my God, another man saw me naked. My boyfriend probably, feels some type of way about that. But when in reality, I think this was just an honest mistake. You wasn't trying to be naked in front of your your boyfriend's boss or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, you weren't trying to do that. It was a simple thing of like, oops, I forgot. I was just trying to be sexy for my man because I ain't gonna lie to you, that's sexy as hell. You know what I mean? If you trying to bring me coffee, booty cheek naked, I'm telling you, especially while I'm working, if I'm at my desk and you walk up to me booty cheek naked and you give me some food or whatever, I ain't gonna lie to you, that food's gonna be cold because we gonna be smashing right then and there. I ain't gonna lie to you. Because the booty cheek naked is gonna have me feeling some type of way. I'm gonna be like, yeah, I like that. And I want that. But as far as, homeboy seeing her naked, it's like, I can't do nothing about that. Honest mistake. It is what it is. I would just tell her, babe, he could see into the house. So just put some clothes on. And she would be like, oh, shit, my bad. I didn't know. And it's all copacetic. It's cool. So I don't think you're in the wrong. I don't think it's a situation to overreact to. You know what I mean? I don't even think your boyfriend overreacted to it because he probably looks at it the same way. Like, look, David wasn't trying to see you naked. You weren't trying to show anybody else, your naked body. You was trying to show that to me, but you just kind of forgot, hey, there's cameras. You know what I mean? So it's a simple situation. But you guys let me know what you think about that one and all of the scenarios that we've gone over today in today's episode, as well as the thread. That's going to be it for today's episode, man. Hope you guys enjoyed today's beautiful Sunday episode. Remember, tomorrow at 5 p.m. we are going live, so definitely catch us on the live stream. We'll be live streaming on TikTok, Kick, as well as YouTube, so definitely get in there. Check it out. Next week, next Thursday, we're going to be doing our brand new book. You guys will be finding out about that book on Thursday. And, if you guys, if you know what I mean? Well, you know who you are on the if when it comes to next Thursday's episode. But I'm excited. Next Thursday is going to be a lot of fun. We're going to be getting into a brand new book. I'm super excited about that. We finally finished Haunting Adeline, so stay tuned for that. But yeah, you guys are going to get a live stream tomorrow. Then we're going to get an episode on Tuesday, and then brand new book on Thursday. And we'll be rocking and rolling. So love you guys all. I will see you tomorrow on the live stream. And that's it for you, boy. Peace.